So you finally decided to make a change. You want a different life, you want to change some of your values and become a better person. So you decided to delete all these bullshit instant gratification apps, the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Reddits. And no doubt on the exact same day, or maybe the day later, you realized how much you actually relied on these apps to get through the day. Boredom sets in, and boredom's a fucking killer. Before you know it, with nothing better to do, you think, one scroll wouldn't hurt, right? It does. But rest assured, brother, big old Jimbo's here to set you straight. So we're clocking in at day 10 on the Spartan regime today. No social media, no gooning, no drugs, mandatory morning routine, and daily exercise. Join the journey, man. So boredom. How do we conquer it? How do we stop being bored? Well, there's most certainly ways to do so, but first I want to address something, and it's actually about your mindset. Who actually told you being bored is bad? Why do you deem boredom a bad emotion? Does it feel like grief, sadness, fear, or anxiety? Boredom isn't inherently bad, it's just uncomfortable or, boring. Boredom isn't something you need to fix or run away from. You only believe that because we live in a world where technology is constantly stimulating us every single day. If we look back a few thousand years ago, right, you'll find the great works of like some philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, you got Plato, Socrates, all of them trying to identify some core reason for our existence. Do you think they could have done that if everywhere they walked, they were constantly distracted? LED billboards, advertisements, loud as fuck cars and TikToks and shit. It's way harder for people in our generation to actually remain focused and therefore have time to think. Like, why are we here? What does anything mean? What's an emotion? What's existence? I'm not asking you to answer these questions. I'm just saying, in our generation, when was the last time you actually heard somebody ask it? They were pondering this shit for centuries back then because they didn't have Mr. Beast microwaving their brain from age 3 with the fucking iPad that their mum gave them. They had no choice but to be bored, and therefore they were able to find fulfillment in it. They forced themselves to find meaning in the boredom. What do we think about these days? We only think about whatever the fucking algorithm tells us to. We've literally become so lazy that we can't even be bothered to think about what we want to do, so we let apps and algorithms decide for us. Like, bro, we are some of the weakest minded people ever, I swear. I'm going to give you a real example of how this actually ties into real life. This happened to me literally yesterday at work. This guy orders his food, he's got to be like 60, 70 years old, yeah, and I tell him it's going to be 10 minutes for his food, and he just looks deep into my eyes like I spoke another language. So I repeat it for him, I say, 10 minutes, yeah? And he's just looking at me confused. So I think, maybe he's fucking deaf or something, right? He's quite old. So I say it a third time now, loud as hell, right? Again, he looks at me and just goes, what, the food? I was like, yeah, bro, your food, it'll be 10 minutes. And he goes, oh, right, yeah, no problem. And I thought that was fucking weird. But you know what this motherfucker does? This 60, 70-year-old man, he sits down to wait for his food. He pulls his phone out and starts doom scrolling TikTok with his phone on max volume. I shit you not, dude. The stuff he was listening to was like AI generated bullshit, UK politics, some anti-Labour stuff. For all my non-UK guys out there, Labour is like the left-wing party. And as soon as I heard the anti-Labour, I was waiting to hear it. And lo and behold, Nigel Farage pops up with some AI commentary. He's like a right-winger. And he just listened to the whole fucking thing on max volume, right? But this guy was sitting there just doom scrolling for the whole 5-10 minutes. I could hear him skipping past short after short, just listening to like AI generated garbage. And then I realized why he couldn't understand what I was saying, because I was talking to him and he wasn't even conscious. He was just looking at me like he was in another world. He's been brainwashed by the same shit that the kids are brainwashed by these days. No one is safe from this stuff, man. I'm telling you, it's poison. In fact, now that I'm making a conscious effort to stay off all this stuff, I'm starting to notice everyone else and how glued they are to it. Now, look, I'm trying not to be like really egotistical about this because obviously I've been doing the same stuff for years, right? But now that I'm off it, I start noticing just how strange it is that I've got a shop for like 10, 15 people and everyone is just sitting there glued to their phones. Just every now and again, they exhale sharply from the nose. Like, that little laugh you do when you're just like... but it's not really a laugh. Like, that's all people do when they sit and wait these days. Like, it's so weird to witness. Like, it's such a strange time we live in. Anyway, how does this tie into what I was talking about? Don't worry, I'm not just going off on a random rant. The reason people are like this is because we have literally lost our ability to just be bored. You don't need to constantly be doing something. Next time you're waiting for something or you have a few minutes spare, don't reach for your phone. Just sit there and think. Just give your brain time to digest, time to unravel all the thoughts that it can't because you're numbing it every second of the day. It will thank you for it, I promise. There's a reason you feel tired all the time. Even when you get your full hours of sleep in at the night, it's because mentally you don't get any rest. You're stimulated all day and you fall asleep watching a YouTube video, so guess what? Your brain doesn't get the deep sleep it needs, and then you wake up tired and repeat the entire process. I'm telling you for a fact right now, if overstimulation and doom scrolling left physical scars on our body like actual cuts and bruises, people would see the damage it's doing and start making a change to their life immediately. But let's be real for a second. Let's say we use our phones 4, 6, maybe or even up to 8 hours a day, right? You might be wondering, am I seriously asking you to just sit there in silence for 8 hours a day? No, of course not. I mean, you would probably go insane, to be honest. To be fair, I still think that would be a better outcome than doom scrolling, but I understand it's not a very practical solution. So this is where you bring in the better habits, and you make sure they're the only habits on your phone. One no-brainer is Kindle. Start reading, bro. Start reading. Start filling in the wounds that all the doom scrolling has done to you with knowledge. Reading's going to train your focus, it'll expand your vocabulary and make you more eloquent, and it will also give you some serious good life advice that could turn your life around. Better advice than I could ever give you. Now, look, everyone is different. I don't know what books you need specifically, right? I would recommend looking at self-improvement books online and seeing which one of them stick out to you. I'll give you a few examples. An extremely common one would be Atomic Habits. It's very popular. If you want something more scientific, you could try Dopamine Nation. I've read Man's Search for Meaning, which was a very tough read at first. It's about Dr. Viktor Frankl, who was at a Nazi death camp for 3 years and still managed to find fulfillment and meaning in his suffering, which is mental. If you want something a bit more sharper, you can try Mark Manson's Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, or Hard Times Create Strong Men, if that's more of your vibe. And if you're more of a spiritual person and you want to wake up, you can try Power of Now. I tried to include books which all have pretty different vibes so I can appeal to like as many different people as possible. One of them will resonate with you. And if you want to know what I did to like get started on this journey, I just used like any ChatGPT or Grok or anything. Just tell it a little bit about yourself, like the struggles you face and stuff and how you're feeling. You don't have to go into too much detail. Just, give it a little rundown and ask for book recommendations, non-fiction. And it will give you a plethora of books to choose from and even give you a little rundown on how the books work and what angle it's giving you. And you can see if it's something that's up your street. Now, it doesn't have to be self-improvement or non-fiction books if you prefer. After all, the goal at the end of the day is to just get you off your phone, right? So if you want to read fiction books, that's absolutely fine as well. I also did that with ChatGPT, and I'm halfway through a book called The Lies of Locke Lamora, I think it is. And it's really fun. I don't read it as much as the self-improvement books. I think if you want to get started on this journey, it would be slightly better to use self-improvement books. But again, the goal is to get you off your phone, so if you want fiction, it's absolutely fine, don't worry about it. This is very easy, it's very effective, the Kindle app is literally free, and the books are like $5 to $10, but I've seen some go for 99 cents. I got Dopamine Nation for 99 cents. It's in the library, I just haven't read it yet. So you really have no excuse here, bro. I'm trying to put you on some good shit here, but I can't make the effort for you, right? If you got this far in the video on some unknown channel, fucking blue Spartan profile picture, then clearly you want to change, right? But to make change, you actually have to, change, mate. So you got to do something. That's only one app anyway. Outside of the Kindle and the reading, I also purchased the Anki mobile app. This is basically a language learning flashcard app, because I'm picking up Japanese learning and starting to do remembering the kanji again. I won't go into this too much because it's very niche and I understand a lot of people won't relate, but in this 100-day journey that I'm doing right now, I'm going to try and learn all 2,300 kanji characters in the book, which is about 25 new characters a day. It's quite ambitious. I don't know if I'll succeed or not, but I mean, like all of my goals, it's not about succeeding the goal. It's just about having some stimulus that makes me put actual work into it. So outside of that, I also plan workouts. I research different lifts. I see what muscles they hit. I compare that to my current routine. I see if I'm undertraining or overtraining anything. I research different foods and diets and see if I can add dishes and recipes to my repertoire. Like, dude, there is an infinite amount of things you could be doing rather than doom scrolling. I promise you. You could be spending every minute of every hour dedicated to making yourself better and making the future you smile and look back on you with compassion for all the work that you put in. But you want to spend your time tweaking out to fucking 6-7 and skibbity fucking brain rot, bro. Look, man, look. I'm not saying you have to go cold turkey, all right? I did it, but it's only been 10 days. 10 days I haven't doom scrolled, I haven't vaped, I haven't drank. I will drink for Chinese New Year and my holiday in April. And while I don't want to really give too much information because it's a bit weird, I haven't gotten up to any dirty business on the websites, you know, like the hub. You know, hopefully you know what I'm saying. I don't want to fucking spell it out for you. Is it easy? I wouldn't say easy. Like, don't get me wrong, sure, I get urges. Sometimes I want to doom scroll. You know, sometimes I think about girls a bit too much every now and again. And the first book I read, this is the important one. The first book I read the first day, do you know how hard it was for me to stay focused on those pages? My brain was running a million miles per hour, my legs were bouncing, and my thumb was instinctively just trying to close the app and just move on to something else. The first day of reading that book was really rough, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, I'll be completely honest with you. But you just need to detach yourself from those emotions. You need to understand that you're undoing years of brain rot. Just keep reminding yourself that it's going to be worth it. Now, I like to imagine there's a perfect version of me 1 year in the future, right? And I understand this, it might be quite narcissistic, but this version of me is perfect, right? He's jacked, he's calm, he's tranquil, he speaks with conviction, doesn't judge anyone, he's sure of himself, he's confident, and he doesn't get awkward or embarrassed when people judge him, right? And every day I see him looking back on me and just nodding his head and just thanking me for all the hard work that I've done. And you know what, future me? You're more than fucking welcome, brother. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I don't know. It's just something that keeps me motivated. Listen, boys, this has been big old fucking Jimbo. And I hope everyone who made it this far in the video has genuine success follow the hard work that they put in. I really want to thank you for watching, by the way, because a side note, we gained some traction recently. I got some really nice comments, and hearing your stories, your struggles, and like, you know, potential journeys as well has honestly filled me with like insane fulfillment and given me such an urge or like desire to just keep doing this. It's stronger than any craving of vape or scrolling or gaming it's ever given me. So like, thank you, man. I'm truly grateful for everyone who's around, and I'm so grateful to have the ability to maybe try and help people. So God bless you all. I will see you in the next.